When corrugating an industrial scissor, you always corrugate the thumb blade or the bottom blade of the scissor. This is because the finger blade is the blade that does the cutting. The bottom blade or the thumb blade is the one that does the holding of the material. That's why you always want to corrugate this blade. We're going to start off by either matching the angle of the scissor with our angle gauge that's supplied with your twice as sharp, or we're going to do a scratch test on a scissor and match the angle. Or another way to do it is you can just sharpen an angle that you've determined. At Wolff, we sharpen all of our corrugated industrial scissors at 25 degrees on the thumb blade of the shear. You can see the clamp right now is set for 25 degrees. Where the two parts of the clamp comes together, it forms a line, and you can see that the line between the 20 and the 30 is set at that line. We're set at 25 degrees. And you can also see at the top of the clamp that it's set in the sharpen position. We'll set the thumb part of the shear into the clamp. And you can see that I have about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch exposed from the top of the clamp. That's from the top of the clamp up to the edge. The reason that you want some exposure out of the top of the clamp is when you make a pass across the wheel, you want to make certain that the wheel underneath will clear the clamp. Now we'll start up. Let's do a scratch test first. Let's hold this up against the scissor and we'll spin downward and see where we scratch out. We're going to flip this over and we'll take a look in the light and see if we can't get that to show up in the video. You can see right there, you can see the scratch right at the edge itself. Once you've determined that your edge matches, which this one does, we're ready to sharpen. We'll start the twice as sharp and start right at the throat of the scissor and work our way towards the tip, just like you've seen in the twice as sharp video. Come away. You want to start at the throat, work your way up to the tip, and when you get to the tip, about the halfway point on the wheel, you want to step back and away. You don't want to go off the end of the wheel because what will happen is you'll round the tip. So again, start right at the throat, work towards the tip, and then come away from the wheel. You want to make about 2 or 3 passes, and then lift and check. What we're doing right now is we're looking to see if we have a good cosmetic looking edge. In other words, I have created an angle all the way down the edge of the blade. And I'm also feeling as well to see if I've created a burr all the way down the blade. I have a burr, and cosmetically, the shear looks good as well. What we're going to do now is we'll switch from the twice as sharp over to the Corru-Gator. The Corru-Gator comes equipped with the same standard arm that comes with the twice as sharp, and it has a wheel on it that has a tooth pattern. The tooth pattern will create about 72 teeth per inch. It's about 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's coated with diamond. It's also, the way that the grooves are set to cut the teeth is set in a spiral pattern. What this will do is as you press the scissor up against the wheel, it will draw the scissor across the wheel without you having to move to the right. All you have to do is apply forward pressure to the wheel. As you apply the pressure, the machine will do the work. Let me show you. The switch is on the back side. We'll start the wheel up. This is a belt-driven motor. Set the scissor up against the wheel, and you can see that the shear is being drawn across the wheel. We started at the throat, and we're working our way towards the tip. You want to work on staying towards the center of the wheel as you work. Turn into the tip as it comes towards the tip, and once the tip makes contact, come straight away from the wheel. Once the corrugating is done, shut your machine off in the back and lift your shear out of the arm. Then we want to check and make sure that we have a good corrugated edge. Let's see if we can get that shown in the video. And there it is. You can actually see each of the teeth that were created across the length of the blade. Let's pan the length of that blade just a little. You can see it starts at the tip and works its way all the way back to the throat.